The meteoric rise of Emilio Azcárraga Milmo. In the annals of media history, few names resonate as powerfully in Mexico as Emilio Azcárraga Milmo. Known colloquially as El Tigre, his influence on the nation's media landscape was nothing short of transformative. Born into the Azcárraga dynasty, a family synonymous with broadcasting prowess, Milmo was destined for greatness. But his journey to the pinnacle of media dominance was neither straightforward nor devoid of challenges. From his early days, Milmo was groomed to inherit the family's media empire. But fate had its trials in store. In 1965, a private plane crashed over Lake Texcoco, claiming the life of Fernando Diaz Barroso, Milmo's brother-in-law. Barroso was not just family, he was the favored successor to the media throne. The tragic accident could have derailed the family's plans, but destiny intervened. Milmo, originally slated to be on that ill-fated flight, had been sidelined due to a horse-riding accident. This twist of fate thrust him into the spotlight, setting him on a path to reshape Mexican media. The 1960s were tumultuous times for Mexico. The student protests of 1968, culminating in the tragic Tlatelolco massacre, tested the nation's resilience. Amidst this backdrop, President Diaz-Ordaz turned to Milmo, seeking his expertise to control the narrative broadcasted by Televisa. This collaboration marked the beginning of a symbiotic relationship between Televisa and the Mexican government, a bond that would shape the nation's political and media landscape for decades. By 1969, Televisa's influence was undeniable. However, it wasn't without its challenges. The government, sensing the broadcaster's growing power, imposed a hefty 25% tax on television companies' revenues. This was a staggering increase from the previous 1.25% tax rate. But Milmo, ever the strategist, rallied against this move. Threatening to exit the business and warning of a potential industry crisis, he managed to negotiate a compromise. Televisa would allocate 12.5% of its broadcast time to the state. The 1970 World Cup in Mexico was a watershed moment for Televisa. Not only did the company secure exclusive broadcasting rights, but it also innovated by introducing large screens in public venues. This move, combined with the sale of broadcasting rights to other Latin American and European countries, cemented Televisa's position as a media juggernaut. Yet, Milmo's ambitions weren't limited to broadcasting. He ventured into cable television, pioneering the service in Mexico. He also recognized the power of news as a tool for shaping public opinion. Under his leadership, Televisa launched 24 Horas, a news program that quickly became the government's mouthpiece. This strategic move further solidified Televisa's influence, making it not just a broadcaster, but a key player in Mexico's political arena. As the 1970s progressed, Milmo's influence wasn't just limited to Mexico. He began to expand Televisa's reach into other Latin American countries and regions in the US with a significant Mexican diaspora. This expansion wasn't just about broadcasting, it was about shaping culture, setting trends, and influencing behavior. Televisa's monopoly coexisted with other giants in sectors like aviation, food and beverages, and pharmaceuticals. Yet, what set Televisa apart was its unique ability to mold and control communication in a nation where the majority were easily swayed by expertly crafted messages. By the time the 1980s rolled around, Milmo's power was unparalleled. He was not just a media mogul, he was a cultural icon. His influence transcended news and entertainment. He shaped societal behaviors, aspirations, and even everyday language. Such was his impact that renowned author Javier Esnaola remarked that while the Mexican state lost its moral compass, the real driver behind the nation's cultural psyche was Milmo. However, no empire is without its challenges. As the 1980s progressed, Televisa began to face competition. Programs from rival channels started gaining traction, threatening Televisa's advertising monopoly. Recognizing the need for evolution, Milmo initiated secret talks with Bernardo Garza Sada, owner of Television Independiente de Mexico, TIM, aiming to reshape the television sector through a merger. The result was the birth of a new Televisa in 1973, a merger that many believed was detrimental to Mexico due to the monopolization of an already limited competitive sector. Yet, with Milmo's influence and the backing of the government, the merger went through, solidifying Televisa's position as the largest broadcaster in Latin America. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Milmo continued to innovate. He organized the first World Communication Encounter in Acapulco in 1974, bringing together intellectuals and artists from around the world. In response to criticism about the quality of commercial television, Televisa began producing educational telenovelas, further diversifying its content. As the 1990s approached, challenges mounted. The rise of TV Azteca, as a formidable competitor, signaled changing times. Financial difficulties began to surface, and Televisa's stock price waned. Yet, even in the face of adversity, Milmo's leadership shone. He navigated Televisa through economic downturns, ensuring its continued dominance in the Mexican media landscape. The 1990s brought with them a new set of challenges and opportunities. The media landscape was rapidly evolving, and the rise of digital technologies threatened to disrupt traditional broadcasting. But Milmo, ever the visionary, was not one to be left behind. In the face of increasing competition from TV Azteca, Milmo made strategic moves to ensure Televisa's dominance. He recognized the potential of cable television and satellite broadcasting, leading Televisa to invest heavily in these areas. The launch of Sky Latino America, a satellite television system in partnership with global players, was a testament to Televisa's forward-thinking approach. However, the decade wasn't without its trials. Financially, Televisa faced significant headwinds. The company closed 1996 with a substantial net loss, and its stock performance was lackluster. The covert battle with TV Azteca for viewership and advertising revenue intensified. Yet, even amidst these challenges, Milmo's leadership was unwavering. Despite his deteriorating health, he continued to steer Televisa, making strategic decisions to ensure its future. His personal life, too, was marked by its share of highs and lows. Known for his charismatic personality and relationships with prominent figures, Milmo's life was often in the limelight. His relationships with famous actresses and beauty queens were widely discussed, adding to his larger-than-life persona. But as the decade progressed, Milmo's health began to decline. Battling a severe illness, he still managed to close significant deals and make pivotal decisions for Televisa. Sensing the winds of political change in Mexico, he initiated dialogues with influential political figures, ensuring Televisa's continued relevance in the changing landscape. Tragically, on April 16, 1997, the world bid farewell to Emilio Azcárraga Milmo. His passing marked the end of an era, but his legacy was far from over. His son, Emilio Azcárraga Jr., was poised to take over the reins of Televisa, ensuring the continuation of the Azcárraga dynasty. In the wake of Milmo's death, reflections on his life and contributions were abundant. He was remembered not just as a media magnate, but as a cultural icon who shaped Mexico's identity. His influence on Mexican society, politics, and culture was undeniable, and his legacy continues to resonate even today. The passing of Emilio Azcárraga Milmo was not just the end of an era for Televisa, but for Mexico as a whole. The nation had lost a media titan, a man whose influence had permeated every facet of Mexican society for decades. Yet, as with all great empires, the torch needed to be passed on, and the next in line was Emilio Azcárraga Jr. young Azcárraga Jean faced an immense challenge. Stepping into the shoes of a legend is never easy, especially when that legend is your father. The media landscape was shifting, with the rise of the internet and digital platforms, threatening traditional broadcasting models. Moreover, the political landscape in Mexico was undergoing significant changes, with the end of the PRI's 71-year rule on the horizon. However, Azcárraga Jean was up to the task. Drawing from the lessons imparted by his father, he began modernizing Televisa, making it more adaptable to the digital age. Investments in online platforms, diversification of content, and international partnerships became the order of the day. Under his leadership, Televisa not only maintained its dominance in Mexico but also expanded its influence in the US Hispanic market, particularly through its stake in Univision. Yet, the challenges were numerous. The competition with TV Azteca continued, and new players emerged in the digital space. The need for innovation and adaptability was more significant than ever. Azcárraga Jean, however, demonstrated resilience and vision, ensuring Televisa's relevance in the 21st century. Beyond the boardroom, the legacy of Emilio Azcárraga Milmo lived on in other ways. Stories of his relationships, his charisma, and his larger-than-life personality continued to captivate the nation. His relationships with iconic figures like Silvia Pinal and his marriages, particularly to Adriana Obascal, Miss Mexico 1988, were subjects of intrigue and admiration. As the years progressed, Televisa's journey under Azcárraga Jean's leadership was a testament to the enduring legacy of Emilio Azcárraga Milmo. The challenges were different, the landscape had evolved, but the spirit of innovation, adaptability, and influence that El Tigre had instilled remained at the heart of the company. In reflecting on the life and legacy of Emilio Azcárraga Milmo, one thing is clear: his influence on Mexican media and culture is unparalleled. From shaping national narratives to influencing political discourse, his impact is felt even today. And as Televisa continues its journey into the future, the legacy of El Tigre lives on, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a true media giant.